Michael K. Show. Pick'em Pro Picks.
Three.
Well, after the Met game yesterday, I turned to SNY and watched some of the interviews by Steve Gelbs, who does such a great job. And then I banged it right back and watched Amazon.
Whoa.
And what a great, tremendous, exhilarating game for me to get 1 point. And, Peter, I'll tell you what, I didn't appreciate Kirk Cousins enough when he was at Washington or when he was with Atlanta. He threw over 500 yards yesterday. I got hit.
That's what he does.
He was just amazing how clutch he was. And, they had the ball with no timeouts left, about 1:12 left, and he drove them into field goal position, spiked the ball with 1 second left, and that tied the game. And they went into overtime. They scored a touchdown on the first possession and ended it. So I started up my week with 1 point, but Don's been the red hot one. And, Don, you said something earlier in the week, and I couldn't agree with you more. This card stinks to high heaven. Stinks, I say. Stinks.
I don't feel good about any of my picks.
Well, then you go. You're first.
Well, I'm going to go, believe it or not, Peter. Well, I'll save that. My first point, 1, Panthers at Bears. 4 is a big, juicy number, and the Bears, 2-2, haven't been overly impressive, but I just don't like the Panthers. I think the Bears are going to take care of business. They've actually been covering early in the season, so I am going to have the Bears at home covering the 4 against the Carolina Panthers as my 1 point play.
1, 2,
I thought about that.
Play.
I was afraid of going with it.
Well, I'm afraid of all these
guts.
picks, so it's just a matter of what makes you less scared. I'm going to go with Peter's Commies for my 2 point play.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
When I made the pick, it was at 3, and now it's moved to 3.5. So that scared me just a little bit. But the Browns are awful. They're getting 0 quarterback play. Their defense isn't nearly as good as we thought it was going to be. And I don't know how long this is going to last, but why not ride it out until I'm proven otherwise? This Washington team is at home. They're scoring points. They don't punt. Their punter can take a break. And they're going to cover the 3.5 at home against the Browns. I like the Commies as my 2 point play.
I can't wait for your 3-pointer. I can't wait.
And my 3 point play, everybody loves the other team. Oh, you got to love. There's no way this team is going to be able to go on the road and beat this red hot team. Everybody loves themselves the Vikings. Well, the Vikings were not great in the second half of that Green Bay game. And at some point, this is going to end. Now, if this game were in Minnesota, maybe it's a little bit different story, but I think everything's neutral in London. Tons of Jet fans have already made the trip. I like the Jets to bounce back. Rodgers is going to figure out this Minnesota defense, and everybody's down on Rodgers. Everybody's down to the way they performed against the Broncos. They will bounce back, cover the 2.5 in London against the Minnesota Vikings as my 3 point play. So I like the Bears, a 4 point favorite, as my 1. I like the Commies, 3.5 point favorite, as my 2. And I like the Jets getting 2.5 in London against the Vikings as my 3 point play.
So your Jet pick, you know what I call that pick? An IC pick. Incredible cubes. Incredible. Peter, you're next.
You see it? Oh, boy, this is an interesting day. Very interesting day. I agree with both of you. It's a repugnant card of games. Just absolutely makes you want to throw up in your mouth. I am also going with my Commanders. They're my 1 point play again. Only, Don, because, Vegas obviously sees something, but maybe, Don, it's as simple as they just haven't caught up and they're not believers yet. They just think it's still a fraud, and maybe it will turn out to be a fraud, but I'm going to hope that they're not overlooking Cleveland. We know Cleveland can have a good defense. Their offense has struggled. Deshaun Watson looked a little better last week, but still not playing well. Can you imagine, guys? I know you're not as in touch as I am. The level of electricity potentially in that stadium in Washington, guys, it may feel like the most real home game we've seen there in years.
Show me something. Go.
And I hate the docket, so I'll give my Commies the 1 point play, minus 3.5 points.
1, 2,
wow.
3 point play.
Now, I'm a little bit. I'm struggling here. You know what, though, Don? I'm just going to go with what I wrote down, because didn't I say last week I hate changing because of other information?
Yes.
I love the Jets. I love the Jets to bounce. I love the Jets. I love the Jets to bounce back. This is the third time I'm going against the Vikings. If I get it wrong, I'm done. I am not going against them the rest of the year.
So fool me once, shame on me. You know, the whole deal?
I don't
Well, as George Bush once said, fool me. You ain't going to fool me again. But apparently for me, it's the third time. These England games are so weird. And, guys, Aaron Rodgers owns the friggin' Vikings. He just does. So I'm going to take the Jets in a borderline must-win spot, getting 2.5 points to beat the Minnesota Vikings outright. And then I'm going to roll against the Dolphins again.
Nice.
Wow.
I don't see this thing getting better, guys. I see it getting worse. Oh, how putrid is it to throw your 3-point play on the Patriots? But I'll take the Patriots at home, getting a point against the Tua-less Dolphins. Commanders for 1, Jets for 2, Pats for 3.
All right, it's my turn, and I have the 1-pointer in the bank already. My 2-point pick, I spit right in the face of Peter Rosenberg. I take the Dolphins. I love the Dolphins in this game. Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be able to play. Raheem Mostert is going to be able to play. I know the quarterback situation is messy, but they're not that bad. They're just not. Let's not forget how bad the Patriots are. I like the Dolphins with the short number. That's my 2-point pick. My 3-point pick, I'm going to tell you, this one I'm going to hold my breath. I feel good about it, but I don't feel great. Good, not great. Good, not great. Coming off a loss, I think they're going to be really, really lit up for this game. And the Texans, although their record is not bad, they have not played great. Give me the Bills for my 3-point play. And
Love this pick.
You love it. No, I don't love it that much.
Thought about the pick.
And it's just a 1-point spread. Give me the Bills. I think the Bills are going to do it. So the Bills are my 3-pointer. The Dolphins are my 2-pointer. My 1-pointer is already in the bank. Now, you might, if you listen to the whole show, which you should, no Joe Fortenbaugh today. Decided to take the day off. What an absolute fraud. But we do have his picks. Anthony?
Yeah, Joe's going with the Steelers -2.5, Vikings -2.5, Baltimore first half money line.
He likes the Vikings, guys. A little nervous?
Ouch.
No,
Ouch.
I'm emboldened.
Now, do you have any college picks, Ant?
Yeah, they're tweeted out at TMKS ESPN. He's got Louisville -6.5, UConn -17, Vanderbilt +23. Note, he did go 0-5 last week.
Well, you know
so
what?
He is
Then
due
you
for a
believe
bounce
in
back.
do. You believe in do. Now, do we have Bears pick?
Yeah, Bear is bearish on the San Francisco 49ers.
I love
giving
that pick for
7.5.
Bear. I love
I
it.
thought about that.
I thought about it.
Yeah, he's just like, who are the Arizona Cardinals? You know what I mean?
Now, we don't have do we have anything from your fraud friend?
Oh, yeah. Ballard.
Yeah, Ballard.
Ballard's picks were read earlier in the week. Got those, Anthony?
Yeah, he has different numbers because he gave them 2 days ago. Packers -3 as his 3-pointer. Commanders -3 as his 2-pointer. Ravens -2.5 as his 1-pointer.
Beautifully said.
The only thing that changed there is the commies switched there by half a point.
Well, then we have to go by our spread.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
he'll just have to adjust. And the manager of the New York Yankees, the #1 seed in the
The
American
guy's
League.
preparing. Wait a second. The guy's preparing for a playoff series.
That's right.
And he had time to give you his pick.
That's right. And this
What
was
do we
right
got?
after the press conference. So he was felt free with all the information he gave us. He is going with the Saints getting 5.5 in KC.
Don't hate that pick. Don't hate it at all. Don't hate it. Don't hate it.
Oh, speaking of which,
Yeah, what's 45 say?
Yeah.
I love the Jags, the Jacksonville Jags.
You know what? I agree with 45. I like the
Time
Jags
to
in that
bounce
game.
back.
Wow, this
Good
is gonna
job,
be a
Mr. President.
This is gonna be
I love Trevor Lawrence. Very good-looking woman.
this is
Handsome woman.
it's gonna be a crowded graphic for Jarv.
Do you know? I never
It
told you
really
guys
is.
this.
And by the way, if you put Ballard and Trump next to each other, they're not getting along.
No, not at all.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
2 au pairs ago in the K family,
Okay.
our au
2 au
pair
pairs ago.
was an exact duplicate clone of Trevor Lawrence.
That's not what you want. I just want to say.
Wait,
That's not what
45
you
just said a beautiful woman.
Well, he's got interesting taste.